So, after 12 years of doing YouTube, I am finally, for the very first time, going to show you my entire Lego Star Wars collection. And man, is it insane. If you have the option, this video is going to be in 4K quality. So if you happen to be on a device that supports it, by all means, watch it in 4K. Lastly, I want to thank Matthew, the Brick Whiz, for helping me out creating this entire Lego Star Wars collection video that I'm about to go through with you guys. So if you please would subscribe to his channel. He is a Lego mock maker. He's working on giant Lego Star Wars dioramas. So please, I'll put a card on the screen. Hit the subscribe button. He is a wonderful YouTuber. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button here on Solid Brick Studios. Let's go ahead and get started right now, guys. All right, so we're specifically going to be covering pretty much all of the Lego Star Wars play sets that I have. We will also take a look at my Ultimate Collector's Lego Star Wars sets towards the end. We won't be covering minifigures in this video. We'll actually have a separate video coming in the next couple weeks. I actually have the minifigures over there. They just are taking a lot more time than me and Matthew originally thought. So, without ado, let me quickly explain what's going on here, how I've kind of sorted this here on my basement floor. What's going on is, so we have the CIS, otherwise known as the Separatist, from the prequel trilogy. Moving on over here, this is a mix and mash of both the original trilogy Star Wars episodes as well as the sequel trilogy. So that's both the Rebellion and Resistance. In the back, we have a mix of also the Imperial forces as well as the First Order and even a tiny bit of the Final Order sets. And then, as we get in towards the middle here, this is by far probably the biggest part of my collection, which is, again, from the prequel trilogy, or the Clone Wars era, which is my Republic Lego Star Wars ships and vehicles. Towards the end here, you'll notice this is basically all of the in-between sets, as I call them. So this is basically all of the bounty hunters, the scum of Star Wars. There's pod racers, Jabba Hutt's palace, sand crawlers, there's ships, there's stuff from the Solo movie. I've put all of that doesn't really align with an allied force. So that would be the Republic, the First Order, the Empire, the Resistance, the Rebellion, or the CIS. Any of that doesn't work with any of that goes over in this area. This, believe it or not, is not the entire collection. I'm calling this video the 2019 edition because next year in 2020 I do plan on actually opening and hopefully showing you the full collection. In these boxes here, as well as over in storage, there's another 40 or so sets that need to be added to the collection. As each year goes by, we also get new waves of Lego Star Wars, so that obviously will add to this collection. I have been collecting Lego Star Wars for over 12 years. Now that I have that covered, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to try to go through this as fast as possible. I won't be able to name everything, but let's go ahead and try. First up, 2 ATOTs, 2 drop ships, 1 drop ship by itself. I actually bought that from a friend, so if you're wondering why there isn't a third ATOT, that's why. A bunch of Jedi fighters, a bunch of Republic Swamp Speeders, Republic Frigate, Republic Cannon, 3 Republic V-19 Torrents, 2 ATRTs, both the new version from the 20th anniversary set, 501st version, Bark Speeders from the Clone Turbo Tanks. There is 10, that's right, 10 Republic gunships from 2008, 3 Republic gunships from 2013, and 1 Republic gunship from 2003, or 2002. Don't remember the exact year on that. We have this weird Republic vehicle, I forget when that was released. We have 2 ARC-170s, 3 Republic fighter tanks, a 4th Republic fighter tank that was recently, I think it was 2016, 2017 release. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller. Bunch of V-19s. We have the Republic Police Cruiser, I believe that's what it's called. We have the Republic Cruiser from Episode 1. Pod Racers. We have the Pirate Tank. Jabba's Palace is right there. Obi-Wan's Hut. Mos Eisley. Whole bunch of Luke's land speeders, which we've gotten so many remakes of that. We have the Desert Skiff. We have Encounter on Jakku. We have the Ultimate Collector Series Sandcrawler set. Going back in the middle, I skipped over, there's 5 ATAPs. 2 of them from 2008, 2 of them from 2014, 1 of them from 2018. Over this direction, we have 1 Star Wars Rebels ATTE. There is actually 3 2008 ATTEs. I only have 1 to display, 2 are in storage. There's also 3 2002 or 2003 ATTs, again, also in storage. But I do have 3 of the 2013 ATTEs right here. There's actually been quite a variations between these over the last couple of years. Probably my favorite part, no, I'm just kidding, it's actually Republic gunships, but we already went through that, is the clone turbo tank. If you can't tell, it's probably one of my favorite. That, along with the Republic gunship, is probably one of my favorite vehicles out of this entire collection. We have 5 2005 versions of this set. One of them has been modified. We have 3 2010 clone turbo tanks, and 1, that little tiny one right there towards the end, is the 2016 or 2015, I believe it's 2016 clone turbo tank. It's the smallest of all of them. Dinky little set. And then right next to that is a custom clone turbo tank, or an ultimate collector's version of that was actually designed by the Brick Puke. That thing is over 8,000 pieces, more than the Ultimate Collector's Millennium Falcon, with an estimated cost of over $1,200. All right, coming back over here, we have the $500 Death Star, otherwise known as the Death Star playset. It is technically also an Ultimate Collector set. Some people don't consider playsets to be UCS sets. This thing's so massive that, like, how can you not call that a UCS set? Moving on to the Imperial side over here, we have 2 of Kylo Ren shuttles. So we have the new version that came out here in 2019. That's the black version with the folding wings. And then we also have the original 2015 one that was gray and didn't have folding wings. Next to that, you can kind of see it between the 2 AT-ATs, which is a mid-scale Imperial Star Destroyer. You see Kylo Ren shuttle, you see Krennic shuttle, and then there's 4 variations of the TIE Fighter. Yeah, no, 3. There's 2 2012 TIE Fighters, 2 2015 TIE Fighters, and then 1 TIE Fighter from Solo. We have the Doritos TIE Fighter. I'm just kidding. It's the Sith TIE Fighter. We have the TIE Striker from Rogue One. We have, I don't know, that one TIE Fighter has one of those Sith Apprentice ones. I forget what it's called. A TIE Fighter from Star Wars Resistance. Palpatine Shuttle, the Snow Speeder. And then 2 Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Then there's a mid-scale Darth Vader's TIE Fighter that's part of Darth Vader's castle over there. There is that also Star Wars Resistance TIE Fighter. A lot of TIE Fighters. We're getting through this, guys. There's a couple drop ships, battle packs right there. A couple AT-STs, one from Rogue One, one from The Last Jedi. Moving towards the back, we have 2 custom AT-M6s. These are great. These were designed by I believe his username is now Edge of Brix. And then I forget the designer on the AT-AT, but that is a modified AT-AT design from another mock designer that basically they were modified to be AT-ACTs for my Scarif mock. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel. Next to that, you'll see the Imperial Star Destroyer playset. That's version 2 from 2014, I believe. And then next to that is the Finalizer from 2017. That's from The Last Jedi. Over near that is also the First Order. It's the landing craft. I forget the exact name. Next to that is that weird spider mechanism thing. There's Darth Vader's transformation. There's a Imperial hover tank. There's Darth Vader's castle. There's an Imperial landing craft over there. There is the Solo train. I think it's the AT Hauler or something like that. I don't know what that one's specifically called. Moving on to the Jango or the Slave 1 sets. There's Jango Fett Slave 1. There's Boba Fett Slave 1 from 2010. Then there is the 20th anniversary Slave 1. Jabba's sail barge is right there. We have the Rancor pit. I have no idea what that bounty hunter set. That's the one from the Clone Wars. There's another bounty hunter ship from the Clone Wars. The AT-ST Raider from the Mandalorian TV show. The Solo Speeder. Cad Bane's Escape set. There's a Dathomir set. Speeder. And then we already covered all of this, so moving on over to this direction, let's go ahead and quickly cover. This is my Wookiee or Kashyyyk sets. Now, why do I have so many of these? If you guys want to check out my Building Kashyyyk series, it's probably one of the biggest mock videos that I ever made. The finale, I think, has over 1 million views, so definitely check out my giant Kashyyyk mock that has over 100,000 pieces. When that mock was created, I needed a whole bunch of Wookiee sets, so got a whole bunch of the Wookiee catamaran sets here and a Wookiee gunship. Moving on to the droid army, or the CIS army. So, Matt, if you would, let's go ahead and just have you stand here because it's kind of a weird angle. We have this table in the way, unfortunately. So we have I believe that's a year 2000 MTT or 1999. Don't know the exact year on that. We have the Baron heavy cannon set. 2 separate shuttles, couple Geonosian cannons, some Hailfire tanks, Hailfire droids, or I think is actually what they're called, not tanks. One of the Sith infiltrator sets, I know I have another version of that, I don't know where that is. General Grievous' shuttle, the original one, there was a second version in 2010. 2 of those Tri-Fighter droid fighters, I forget the exact name on those. Then we have the Malevolence, we have a droid carrier, we have General Grievous' speeder, bunch of Vulture droids, bunch of, I kind of stacked them up because I was running out of room, but a whole bunch of droid gunships. We have 4 of the original AATs, one of the newer AATs. I also had a few of the blue AATs. Again, like I said earlier, this is not my entire collection. There's still stuff in storage, but I do have those blue AATs from the Clone Wars. There is 6, that's right, 6 MTTs from 2007, I want to say 2007, 2008. We have 1 MTT, I think that is from 2014. There is that's a Star Wars The Old Republic set, some random sets. Republic Y-Wings, I was meant to put that in the collection. I didn't actually like the color of how yellow they are, so I ultimately just left them over there on the shelf. Over there in the corner, there is a little droid cannon. I didn't include that because it's actually missing a few pieces. Now as we enter basically the Resistance and the Rebellion, kind of the same thing, honestly. They're both led by Princess Leia. So a whole bunch of Haas speeders. We have the Resistance landing craft or Resistance transport. We have the Pasana speeder. We have the Battle of Crate. What are these things called? Ski speeders. So we have the ski speeders. We have 2 versions of the Tana 4. Is it Tana 4? Yeah. We have 2 versions of the Tana 4. One is a 2019, one is a 2009 set, I believe. That was a 10th anniversary and a 20th anniversary set. Well, actually, I believe the UCS, one is a 10th anniversary set. The second is technically a 20th anniversary set, but it doesn't have it on its box. Next to that is the Ghost. After that is the B-Wing, a bunch of other ships. Okay, so moving on to the X-Wing. So first off, we have the Rise of Skywalker pose X-Wing right there, and then we have the Force Awakens / The Last Jedi pose X-Wing. So the black and orange one and the white and orange one are 2 different versions. Next to that is a U-Wing, I believe, from the Battle of Scarif. We have a Resistance Bomber. We have a Resistance X-Wing. We have a Classic X-Wing. We have another Classic X-Wing from the original trilogy. 2 versions, 2012, 2018 version. Next to that is the solo version of the Millennium Falcon, the white one. And then we have the 2010 Millennium Falcon, the 2015 Millennium Falcon, 2019 Millennium Falcon. And then I think that's a 2010 set. It's the mid-scale Millennium Falcon. Not sure what year that's from. And then you can kind of see it, but there's 4 Resistance X-Wings from Rise of Skywalker, 1 A-Wing. I'm sorry, there's 4 Resistance A-Wings and 1 other red A-Wing. Some other mentions, we have the Ultimate Collector's Ewok Village, a bunch of the battle action, Bionicle type of figures. General Grievous battle action figure, or buildable figure, I think is what they called them. Some other Old Republic ship. We have the Naboo Starfighter, kind of broken, need to fix that. Random other sets. And then over there is the Force Awakens, like Kylo versus Rey, Palpatine's Arrest is right over there, Dewback versus R2-D2. Escape Pod. There's some Microfighter sets, and there's some Planet series. If anybody remembers the Lego Star Wars Planet series sets, I do have those. There's also in storage. So again, what you're seeing here is probably about 90% of the collection. But now let's go ahead and move on to the Ultimate Collector series sets. So we have the X-Wing Starfighter from 2013. We have the Slave One, I believe that was from 2014. I think the TIE Fighter was also from 2014, 2015. Next to that is the T4 Shuttle, that's from 2010. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set. It's one of my favorites. Next to that is the Executor Super Star Destroyer. Now, I know this is kind of an argument that some people like to make, but these are technically UCS sets. So we have the Yoda statue, we have the Porg statue, and we have the BB-8 statue. And then, of course, we have R2-D2 in the back. So I feel like if you consider R2-D2 a UCS set, then these around it are also UCS sets. Now, we have to leave for a quick second and show you the last Ultimate Collector Series sets. Okay, so the first Ultimate Collector Series that is outside of my Lego room is the original Millennium Falcon. You can see I have an iDisplay It case with the set inside. This was probably one of my favorite Ultimate Collector Series until the new version, the 2017 version, came out, but gorgeous set. I have it in pristine condition, doesn't have much dust on it or anything. I have the original plaque, I actually have the original box as well, original minifigures, so that's a very nice piece, part of my collection. So on to more Ultimate Collector Series sets. Okay, so we're actually in my office now, so this is my prize collections. They get to go on either side of my computer. Right here is the 2017 Millennium Falcon on a special custom-made stand. That's how it's being able to stand up like this. It's actually, the stand is made out of Lego. It's not something made out of acrylic or anything like that. But again, prized possession, absolutely love this. It even has its own dedicated coffee table. Over here, the other prized possession that came out here in 2019 is the Ultimate Collector Series Imperial Star Destroyer. This is version 2, as well as the Falcon, actually. Both of them are second versions, but aren't they just the most beautiful sets? They are my favorite Ultimate Collector Series sets. Again, they sit in the middle of my office where I edit my YouTube videos, and by far some of my favorite sets. So let's go ahead and end the video downstairs. Alright guys, so now you have seen the entire collection throughout my entire house. We actually didn't even cover my brand new Lego Star Wars collection in the back. That's right, all of these sets that were on the shelves here in the back half are brand new, unopened sets. They are part of my private collection. One day I will probably sell them and use it for like a down payment on a house or something. You can check out those in my Ultimate Lego Room video if you want to see that. But the last thing I want to talk about, and I'm sure this is the biggest question, is David, how on earth do you have a collection this big? How can you do this? So this is a collection that has taken over 12 to 13 years now to accumulate. So over the past 12 years, I have been on YouTube. You can go all the way back to 2008 on my YouTube channel and find all of my YouTube videos. And I have basically been reviewing Lego Star Wars sets all of these years since then. And because of that, your collection accumulates quite a bit. Now, I do realize I have quite a bit of accumulation of multiple of certain sets, specifically the Republic gunship, the clone turbo tanks, some of the droid army, lots of multiples. Some particular sets, like the custom AT-M6 and the custom AT-ATs, were designed specifically for MOCs, and so that's why there's some of those. The gunships I also want for MOCs, but if you're wondering, this is a question I get all the time. David, what's your favorite Lego Star Wars set? It's the Republic gunship. It's a tie between the 2013 to 2008 version, but by far, I like it a lot, hence why I have 14 of them. Do I need 14 of them? Absolutely not. I really don't. I'm actually kind of questioning why I even have so many. Personally, it is one of my favorite Star Wars ships ever made. I do realize it's from the prequel trilogy, and I do realize that, you know, a lot of hardcore Star Wars fans like more of the original trilogy. Some people like the sequel trilogy, but I particularly grew up with the prequels, and so hence why I kind of like the sets a lot. I also grew up with the Clone Wars TV show, and so I'm also kind of attached to that as well. Before we go, I want to just leave you guys with some fun stats or statistics about this entire collection. I'd say estimated 500 sets, could be more, could be less. If someone out there watching this video wants to actually do the counting and see how many sets is here, by all means leave it in the comments below. I'll be reading your guys' comments. Now I'm also including in that number some battle pack walkers and speeders. probably about 100 or so of those. I'm also including this estimated number, so this might not be 500 sets right here in front of me, but it's my entire collection accumulated is definitely over, I would say, 500 sets. Now, 500 sets, quite a bit here. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering how on earth did I afford a collection of this size. So it's pretty much been divided up since I started collecting Lego Star Wars about 13 years ago. So this is 13 years in the making. Took a long time, but it's quite a nice collection, I like to say. The other thing I'm sure I'll get is, well, David, how on earth can you afford a collection like this? So basically, most of this collection has been purchased with my own money. Some of these sets, like the Christmas X-Wing, were actually given to me as a gift. I know the ATM-6 was, I know one of the ATM-6s was actually built and given by Matt, so thank you so much, man. Some other sets were also given to me, but majority here have been purchased. I'd say roughly it's around $25,000 to $30,000. That's with inflation. That's not the price I paid for all of this. A lot of this was bought through eBay and through conventions where I got really good deals. Some of the sets were bought at normal retail price. Some of the sets were bought out on Black Friday deals or just, super big discounts where I could get a whole bunch of sets on the cheap. So even though the estimated cost is significantly high, that it doesn't reflect the exact price that I actually paid for this entire collection. I did pay for this entire collection with my own money through the YouTube work that I've been doing here on my channel. I've been covering Lego Star Wars again for the last 10, 11, 12 years now. And so over that time, I have accumulated this entire collection and spent my money towards building what you see here. I think it's pretty awesome. Hopefully in next year's version, I'll go ahead and show basically all the other sets. After next year's version, I don't know if I'll ever make another video like this because it is a lot. So ultimately, I don't plan on getting rid of any of this anytime soon. Maybe a few sets if I never use them. But for the majority, what you see here is staying. I'm so thrilled that you guys were able to see this. Thank you again to Matt, the Brick Whiz. Again, please go check out his YouTube channel down below. He makes wonderful Lego Star Wars videos, so if you don't have enough content on my channel, go check out his channel. He's a wonderful YouTuber. All right, guys. Curious to see what you guys have to say down below. Don't forget to check out my Lego room tour, so if you want to see my entire Lego collection, not just my Lego Star Wars collection, but all of the collection here in my basement, then by all means check out that video. Also have some awesome Rise of Skywalker videos like preparing for Star Wars, which is a fun take for the final time on the release of another Star Wars movie. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. I'll see you guys later, and bye-bye.